of Delhi High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Varma and piles of cash being allegedly found at his home continues. Last Friday, the Times of India first exposed this story on its front page. It's been about 4 days since that story came out and more than 8 days since this fire took place at Justice Varma's residence in New Delhi. The story has already several twists and turns, and needless to say, a huge question mark has also come up on the credibility of the Indian judiciary. The Supreme Court, like we told you over the last 2 days, has stepped in. An in-house inquiry against Justice Varma is already underway. Broadly, over the last 4 days, there have been some statements, some clarifications, some revelations. Yet, some key unanswered questions remain at the moment. Over the weekend, two important things happened. First, Justice Varma's first comments came out in this case. And second, the Supreme Court of India made some alarming evidence in the story public, unprecedented in Indian judiciary's history and recent public memory. Hello and welcome, I'm Shubham Chauhan. Let's get started. First, let's start with today's update, that is Monday, the 24th of March. The Supreme Court Collegium has recommended the transfer of Justice Yashwant Varma to Allahabad High Court, which was his parent High Court. An official notification was put out in this regard today. The transfer proposal of Justice Varma has been sent to the Modi government for approval. Remember, last week, the Allahabad High Court Bar Association had opposed the repatriation of Justice Varma. The Bar Association said that the High Court, the Allahabad High Court that is, should not be treated like a bin where tainted people are sent by the Supreme Court or the higher courts. In another development, the Delhi High Court announced that judicial work from Justice Yashwant Varma has been withdrawn with immediate effect till further orders. The announcement was made in a note issued by the High Court. Until yesterday, Justice Varma was listed to hear some matters today, but the High Court registrar clarified that all judicial work has been withdrawn from him. In fact, that's something that Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, the CJI Sanjeev Khanna, had ordered Delhi High Court Chief Justice D.K. Upadhyay to do so. Over in the Supreme Court today, a public interest litigation has been filed in connection with this scandal. The PIL seeks to register an FIR against Justice Varma and challenges the three-judge committee, the three-member committee constituted by the Chief Justice of India to investigate the matter. The plea has been filed by Supreme Court Advocate Matthews Nirampara, and the PIL lists some requests. First, make the cash recovered from Justice Varma's official residence a punishable, cognizable offence. That's the first demand. The second is direct the Delhi police to register an FIR in this case. Third, direct the government to take action and curb corruption in the Indian judiciary. And fourth, the plea challenges the direction of the Supreme Court in the K. Veeraswamy case. In that case, the Supreme Court had held that a criminal case against a sitting High Court or Supreme Court judge can only be filed after consulting the Chief Justice of India. Moving on to what happened on Saturday night. The Supreme Court of India uploaded a document in this case on its website. This was a report submitted by Delhi High Court Chief Justice D.K. Upadhyay into alleged finding of cash pile at Justice Varma's residence in New Delhi. This uploading of the document publicly was an unprecedented move on the part of the Supreme Court of India. NDTV reported that all members of the Collegium of the Supreme Court, that is CJI Sanjeev Khanna, Justices B.R. Gavai, Suryakant, A.S. Oka and Vikram Nath all of them agreed on making this document public for the sake of transparency and to end misinformation being spread about this case. The 25-page document includes a host of things like Delhi High Court Chief Justice D.K. Upadhyay's findings, Justice Varma's response to all the allegations, and the video of this cash pile, some of which was burnt, being found by firefighters as they finished dousing the fire at the official bungalow of Justice Varma. Here's a look, take a look at this video that was made public by the Supreme Court.
सब कर दे सब दे ये भी लिया महात्मा गांधी में आग लग रही है भाई वहां लिया ये भी लिया बेटा
In the report, there was no clarity on the possibility of entry or access to the store where the cash was allegedly found by any person other than those residing in the bungalow. That is what the report says. So this includes servants, the gardeners, and the CPWD personnel. Hence, Justice Upadhyay concluded that prima facie, he believes that this entire cash scandal at Justice Varma's residence needs a deeper probe. The final report shows that on the 21st of March, which is the day the story broke in the newspapers, Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, suggested that Justice Varma be asked not to dispose of his mobile phone or delete or modify any conversations or messages or any data from his mobile phone. Chief Justice Khanna also shared 3 questions with the Delhi High Court Chief Justice that can be asked to Justice Yashwant Varma. And these 3 questions were: first, how does Justice Varma account for the presence of cash in the room located in the premises? Second, explain the source of the money/cash which was found in the said room. Third, who is the person who had removed the burnt cash/money from the room on the morning on the 15th of March 2025? And here's where Justice Varma's responses come in. On the first question, Justice Varma says he was never aware of any money or cash lying in the storeroom. He said that neither he nor his family members or staff had anything to do with the cash allegedly found in the gutted room. Justice Varma also pointed that no cash was shown to his family members or staff who were present on the night when this fire broke out. On the source question, Justice Varma said the question does not arise as he or any of his family members had nothing to do with the cash allegedly found. When asked about who removed the burnt notes the day after the fire, Justice Varma said he personally had nothing to do with the currency which was removed from the storeroom. In fact, just to quote from his response to the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, "We were neither shown nor handed any sacks of burnt currency. The debris from the gutted room continues to exist in a part of the residence. Therefore, the question of burnt currency alleged removal is not known to us. In any event, none of my staff removed any article, currency, or cash in any form." Notably, the police's version is that a guard had seen a person removing articles from the room that caught fire on the morning of the 15th of March. So one day after the fire, the police's version is that a guard had seen someone remove articles from that room. In fact, on Sunday, that is the 23rd of March, burnt currency notes of 500 rupee denomination was spotted by a sanitation worker while sweeping a road outside the residence of Justice Yashwant Varma in central Delhi. The sanitation worker of NDMC, who had chanced upon the remains of the burnt currency notes, clicked photos and informed the seniors, who then contacted the local police. Visuals of that you are seeing on the screen already give more backing in a way to the version of the Delhi police. But broadly, Justice Varma has rejected all accusations and insinuations and said that this entire saga, this entire story is a conspiracy to malign his image. Justice Varma also clarified that he was in Bhopal at the time of the fire and it was his staff, mother and daughter who were at home. Now, curiously, Justice Varma in his defense also cited Delhi Fire Services Chief's first response that came out in the media after the story broke. A PTI report quoted the Delhi Fire Services Chief Atul Garg saying that no cash was found from the spot, only to take a U-turn a few hours later on that, saying that he never said such a thing. So, what's next? On Saturday itself, the Supreme Court of India set up a 3-member committee for an in-house inquiry against Justice Yashwant Varma in this cash scandal. This committee includes Justice Sheel Nagu, Chief Justice of the Punjab and Haryana High Court, Justice G.S. Sandhawalia, Chief Justice of the Himachal Pradesh High Court, and Justice Anu Sivaraman, the judge of the Karnataka High Court. In addition, all judicial work, as has been ordered, has also been withdrawn from Justice Varma at the time. Reporting for the Times of India today, Dhananjay Mahapatra points out that this in-house probe may not conclude early. In fact, this 3-member committee will thoroughly probe all angles in this case of Justice Yashwant Varma and the alleged cash recovery. The TOI report says this committee will examine the first responders to the fire in the storeroom of Justice Varma's residence. So this includes security, personal assistants, domestic staff, and also the fire personnel who were present at the spot will all be spoken to. Also among those to be examined by the committee would be Delhi Fire Services Chief Atul Garg, who made that U-turn on the statement that no cash was found. He said that he never made such a statement. The report adds that this committee would seek the help of IT experts to verify the authenticity of the video we just showed you, supposedly from Justice Varma's storeroom, where that's where the fire took place and the cash was allegedly found. Which brings us to the unanswered questions in this case so far, and pretty basic, glaring questions, answers to which still elude us. Like how much cash was recovered? 15 crore rupees, 20 crore rupees, 50 crore rupees. We still don't know that officially yet. More importantly, where is this partially burnt cash now? Is it still there? Has it been disposed? And if it has been disposed, who has done it? After all, one would expect that given the scrutiny that this case has, the storeroom in question would be sealed and all efforts be taken to preserve that spot so that there is no attempt to erase any sort of evidence. The Delhi police says they don't have the cash. Justice Varma says there was no cash. So where is the money exactly? Besides, who had access to the storeroom and how did such a large amount of cash end up being there? That is, who had access to the storeroom in question? That's really one of the big questions. Was this cash planted, as Justice Varma is in a way alleging, or is this something else? A CCTV footage from Justice Varma's residence would give us some answers perhaps. It also remains to be seen how long will this in-house inquiry take. Because remember, Chief Justice of India Sanjeev Khanna retires next month. Although that shouldn't be idly affecting the in-house probe, Justice B.R. Gawai will be succeeding Justice Khanna for a tenure of 6 months. So the onus really will be on the incoming Chief Justice as well to ensure this case reaches its logical conclusion. But clearly, as of now, this case is far from over and it's only getting murkier by the day. That's all we have for this report. Thanks for watching.